Higher education is more important than ever in today's knowledge-based economy, but it also can be an expensive proposition. It is essential to ask the right questions. AFT's program, Just Ask, seeks both to demystify this process and to focus college choice on value and quality. Our guide, Which College is Right for You, brings these questions face-to-face with students and their communities. Since 2011, more than 170,000 copies have been distributed to AFT affiliates and community groups nationwide.
The American Federation of Teachers was nice enough to provide every high school student in the district with one of these. This is called Which College is Right for You. It talks about some of the things that we just said were points of consideration. When we're choosing a school, what are things that we have to think about? What happens in the admission process? What are they looking for?
GPA, ACT.
The student starts to think about the real college life, just beyond, oh, I like that school or what the school has to offer, like the student population, transportation, diversity, things that I wish I had known or thought about when I went away to college for the first time. So I called Ruby Newbold and we started talking about it, and we said, let's have AFT Detroit bring this to our students in the high school setting. So we called AFT up and asked them if we could have 13,000 copies of their book. And they were blown away. It's 13,000. What are you going to do with those? So we said, we want to see each one of our students have one of these booklets in their hands. And now each school, classroom by classroom, the counselors are working with the teachers to introduce this concept to the students so that they can start thinking, what does college entail? What do you need to think about? What do you need to prepare?
And that's something that you hadn't considered before.
The book has so much stuff in it that I never thought twice about. One thing I thought about when I'm going to college is how much I'm going to need for it, where it's going to be, that's it. I never thought about my class size. I never thought about the faculty to student ratio. With the book, I just found out today that at Flint, the student ratio, 16 students to 1 faculty. That's great for me because I won't have to compete as much to get attention to make sure that I'm known.
A guideline to look at and to go by for when you look at other colleges and see if they really for you. I liked it because it showed that they really care and they helping us.
I also learned that it's always good to have more than one college to look at, because this college might have a certain type of program, but you might have certain requirements. If I can't exceed those requirements, I can't get into that program.
The faculty of the post-secondary institutions, the community colleges and the four-year colleges, it affects them. And so part of the thinking on the larger scale was that we've all got to work together because the student is what we have in common. And so if I'm working with the student here to help them be more informed and prepared, then when they get there, I am hoping that my colleagues on the other side of the spectrum are taking those students and working with them also. So it's really a community approach.
We cannot engage our community without engaging our faith-based churches. We had individuals from synagogues, from temples. They were here listening to our service today. Their community also needs these Just Ask books. So it's most important that we not only stop at the community around our schools, but we also include the community of our churches. And that's why I'm very, very happy about this.
Everything you need to know, the questions you need to know. Come back and discuss these schools with your parents, and then you can decide which school is feasible for you.
We felt that this book would be very beneficial. They can write the name of the school, the date they visit, any important people they met. Every question that we prompt our students on the bus to ask is in this book.
My daughter is off. She's gonna come back with some potential scholarship opportunities so she can go into the medical field, right? She's gonna go in the medical field, so we're documenting the history right here.
Plethora of scholarships. So if you look on the left-hand side of your ACEs, the scholarships are listed. Those came mentees last year from 5 different states.
And my second question was to her.
Another good thing about Howard University is that we super score your ACT. For me, I took the ACT 5 times. I started the ACT with a 22 and I ended with a 31.
All my sections go up like
The more information I learn about the college,
the more I'll be able to narrow the search down and understand exactly what it has and what it has to offer me.
It was just larger than I expected. Well, I've always knew that it was large, but once my little self is on the campus, it looks extremely big.
Most of these questions in the book are questions that we asked on the trip, because we wanted to know of the tuition fees, the percentage of blacks, whites, Hispanics. Everything in this book is basically every question that we have asked, and I think that every question in here needs to be in this book.
It gives you an idea of what schools you may be interested in going to.
So it's a lot you can do with this, and I would encourage every school throughout the United States, every AFT member, if you're a high school counselor or a high school teacher, put this booklet in the hands of your students now. They may think a little more seriously about their academic progress than they did before holding this booklet.
This is like a really good book, actually, for any student that is thinking about going to college, whether it's a junior, sophomore, all ages, all grades. In high school, you need to look at this book.